Look at us live on a Monday morning on YouTube, Facebook, and everywhere else. Hi, Chris.
Good morning, my friend. How are you?
Not bad. I'm sorry you have. I walked in this morning to Chris's house, and you were on the phone with the city of Mesa. Apparently, no hot water in your house currently.
Oh, I mean, thank goodness it's the summer, so it's still hot water. I mean, it's got to be. Well, what's the temperature outside? The water is about probably 85 degrees or so. But yeah, I was like, what the heck is going on? So call him up, and then it was the most unexcited woman on the other end of the phone.
I even said after Chris got done on the call, I said, does anybody work for the city or the government? Are any of them in a good mood? Do any of them love their job? Or is it really just like when's lunch?
Right. I'm sure. Okay. I'm sure we probably have some listeners or some followers here that might work for the city or for the government. And I hope it's an enjoyable job for you guys. But if it is, let us know. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning,
What's up,
everybody?
Julie, Tina, Autumn? How's it going, guys?
Amazing.
But yeah, she was just not feeling it. And I'm like, good Monday morning. How are you doing? She's like, hi, what's your problem? So
good morning to you too.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, like, they're not mean. They're just not overly friendly.
No, exactly. Right. Exactly.
Like, they don't put themselves in our shoes. It's like, okay, I don't have any hot water at my house. I'm calling you to fix that. Could you be a little sympathetic or empathetic or something? But there doesn't even seem to be that.
And even at that, it doesn't bother me at all. She's like, well, we can't get someone out there till Thursday. I was like, oh, no problem.
No problem.
It's all good. And the thing is, sometimes when people are so maybe just apathetic, you kind of will want to lay on the niceness a little bit more just to see if you can get something out of it. You're like, come on, let's go.
Yeah,
let's go.
It's fine. Tina says, I had a government job once, but I would have matched that last energy.
I know you would have matched it, Tina. Of course you would have.
Yeah.
I love it. What's up, Pia from Finland? This is so cool. And LaRonda, hello.
What's up, guys? So we got a brand new podcast out today, and I have a feeling that this one is going to get a lot of people talking. It is with the Olympian filmmaker, producer, amazing person,
writer, philanthropist,
Alexi Pappas, who is just tremendous. And what a great conversation. You and I talked about it right after we got done taping. It was like, man, there are some people that just have a way with words.
Yeah. I left that conversation and I spent about 48 hours just thinking about her articulating her thoughts. And it actually showed a big spotlight on areas of my life I hadn't even really discovered or like even thought to explore before. And I was like, wow, she's an old soul, even at 33 years old.
It was like, she's only 33.
Yeah. She's like,
oh my God, I gotta get my act together.
I know. I was like,
to get my act together.
I wasn't there when I was 33. I'll tell you that.
She's
she's lived a lot of life and she's been through a lot physically and emotionally. And but really open about her journey and her struggles with depression, especially being an elite athlete. But boy, the way that she simplified everything it was a beautiful conversation. I'm really excited for you guys to hear it.
Yeah, go check it out now. It's available wherever you guys get your podcasts. We've started a YouTube channel that has some featured clips on it. And so if you want to see the video versions of some of these things, you can head over to the I Needed That podcast video feed. And that's hanging out for you as well. Can I see the hand? How's it? Oh, my goodness gracious.
Well, okay,
so we should
super
explain.
Dark this morning. Yes,
can you get it? Can you get it up there for everybody?
It's kind of you can see that.
So I called Chris yesterday. I was like, "What are you doing, man?" He's like, actually, I'm going to get my tattoo removed." And I was like, "Wait, which tattoo are you removing?"
I was like, well, the only one that needs to get removed. That's for sure. Yeah, exactly.
The wedding ring one, huh?
Oh, I jinxed it. We both kind of did. I mean, everyone knows better. You're not supposed to tattoo a name on your body. You're not supposed to tattoo the wedding ring on.
But why would you go into it thinking you can't go into a marriage thinking, this isn't going to work? Like you, of course, you have to go into it thinking that it's going to be there.
I was thinking long term. That's for sure.
Of course, she was too.
Yeah. So, but we're here now, and but I've had no joke, dude. I've had about this is session number 13 on this sucker because when you're trying to get a tattoo removed, the fingers don't get a lot of blood flow. So if the further away it is from the heart, the longer it's going to take to heal, and also to eventually go away. So I mean, this has been 13 sessions on this thing, and I mean, you can see it's dark, it's blown out now, But in
It almost looks bruised.
well, because what they do is they send that laser like deep into the layers of the skin, and it actually like blows up the ink, if you will. And so, but it creates like a scab, and then when I peel it off, it just gets lighter and lighter and
Can I ask you
lighter.
a question?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be so much easier to just tattoo like skin colored ink over the top of it?
So funny. I thought about that.
You did?
About 7 sessions in, I'm like, man, should I just do that?
It would seem like it would be so much easier to
Oh,
just like go with your skin color over the top
right.
of it.
Yeah, but you know what? At the same time, it's like, well, let's finish this process and let's get this over with. So it looks dark, but it's going to get a lot lighter. I'm sure some of you might have a similar story, maybe not with the wedding ring, but I'm sure like, and I'd love to hear from anyone who's gotten a tattoo that they regret. Either you regret it or you're in the process of removing it. Anybody, come on, don't make me feel alone.
Who's had a tat removed? I haven't had a tat removed. I only have these two right here. And so they're going to stick around.
I must say, those are in pretty sensitive parts of your body too.
It felt like I was being cattle prodded in my nipples.
Oh,
it was out of control, man. It was like the worst feeling.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's pretty gangster. The thing is, like, because you had tattoos there, you can get a tattoo just about anywhere else. It'll be fine.
I saw a woman today at the gym. She had a gigantic snake all down her, like the side of her body, all the way down to her leg. And it was like, I'm not joking, bro. It was like that thick of a snake. And I was like, that had to hurt over the rib cage, because you have some on your ribs.
I got some on my ribs. And it definitely rattles you, especially if they got a heavy hand. They get over the bone. It's like, but you feel it. It wakes you up pretty good. That's for sure.
All right. Well, a lot of people getting their comments on this morning. Thank you for being here. I have a friend waiting in the backstage that I wanted to bring out. Remember last week I was talking to you a little bit about that relief from grief event that I'm putting on?
Yes.
So I'm not doing it by myself. I brought in somebody who knows way more about this stuff than I do.
Awesome.
For 30 years of my life, I was just told where to be and when to show up.
Right.
But if you're going to put on an event, you have to work with people that understand how to work the back end of things, right? How to set up all the systems and processes, how to get contracts, how to get like logistics.
There's a certain personality type that does that. You know what I mean? Where it's
yes.
Like you meet like a wedding planner or someone else who throws events. It's a very specific personality type. And so
100%.
You got to have those people though.
So her name is Teresa, and I wanted to bring her in right now. Hey, T.
Guys.
Yeah,
how's it going?
What's going on?
Good. I enjoy listening to you guys. It's entertaining.
Thank you.
Do you have any tattoos that you want to get removed, by the way?
I don't have any tattoos at all.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever thought about getting one?
With my line of work, but I don't have any. I want to get a few, but I can't make the decision of what I want because I know it's going to be permanent.
That is the truth.
So I overanalyze it and I just don't get it.
Fair enough.
That's an easy way to do it.
Think long and hard on it, because trust me, you don't want to get it removed. That's
right.
It's painful. It's way more painful than getting the tattoo. I promise you that.
Does it hurt when you're sitting there? Is it like really?
Yeah. It's pretty gnarly.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, it feels like someone's just taking a massive rubber band and just going
snap.
Yeah, and snapping it and it's fine the first couple times, but then it's over and over and over again. And after a while, you're like, okay.
That's another reason why I don't get a tattoo, is just the needle. And that I have clients that I'm a massage therapist, so I get to see a lot of tattoos, and I get to hear the story behind it, the meaning behind it. And so I love that part, but the thought of like them telling me how painful it is, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I hear you. Tattoos.
Loads of people considering removal, so you guys are not alone. Well, listen, hey, really quick, I just brought I want to get to why we brought Teresa on, because I want to talk a little bit more about this retreat. It's coming up here in Scottsdale, October 14th, and this the link right there is the one that anybody can go to get more information about it. But grief. It kind of shows itself in a lot of ways. And I like the way that Teresa explains it. Like, I'll let you break this down, Teresa, but grief shows up for people in a lot of different ways, right?
Yeah. So for me, last 6 months has been unraveling and how it's been showing up in my behaviors, my relationships, my operating systems. And what happened for me is, it's kind of started 2 years ago when I did talk therapy, and I realized how it was affecting my communication with my husband and other people. That's another story. But then I was going to equine therapy for my daughter. And in the third session for me, I had such an aha moment of how the grief of losing my brother when I was in second grade was affecting me now 37 years later. And I lost my shit, and I have been unpacking that since. And so I did an additional 6 weeks of equine therapy, which it's so hard to explain, but when you watch the horse trainer work with the horse and behaviors and how you do body language and communication, I was able to say so much of me that wasn't serving me and how it was affecting my relationships in that 6 weeks, then the years of talk therapy. So through that, I knew I wanted to share this with my community and my clients. And so everything I do with my clients is because I needed it first, my own healing journey. And so when I got to a point of feeling comfortable, I'll tell you the truth, it's still uncomfortable for me. And I keep telling Mathew this. I'd rather not be open about it.
You know me, I just keep keep pushing. I'm like, keep
Yes.
going, you're fine.
But the big piece for me that was so eye-opening is how I've kept myself not be emotionally connected to people, the emotional intimacy, because fear of loss. So huge for me. I'm gonna try and get through this without being emotional too much. So that's the piece I get to keep walking through, is to be open, to be vulnerable, and not to hide how I'm feeling, because that's what I kept away subconsciously and consciously and for so long. And so as I'm creating this event, so I got to a point where I was like, okay, I want to collaborate. They're called Broken Arrow Ranch. I wanted to collaborate with them. And then I knew Mathew. I've known Mathew for 12 years, and I worked with him off and on for 12 years, that he wanted to do events. So we had a conversation, and it was just great synergy. And now we're putting on this retreat coming up in October.
Wow, cool. Now equine therapy. We talked briefly about it last week.
I was hoping that she would help you understand it, because I did a horrible job explaining it.
It's all good, but we got to bring this around because I don't know anything about this. And so Mathew
I
mentioned
didn't
to me,
either
he's
till like November.
and really? Okay, so we're all relatively new to this. And so last week he's like, dude, horses have like crazy healing power. And I told him straight up, man, I'm way too scared to get close to a horse because they are big, muscular, powerful animals. And in 7th grade, my friend Beth got kicked by a horse and it collapsed her lungs. And I've been scared of, like, I can ride a horse, no problem. I have, but the moment I get close to one, I'm always like on guard. So, but at the same time, there's so much that we're exploring that we just don't know about. And it's like, okay, well, they also have incredible healing power. I'm like, well, tell me more.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
What was your experience, Teresa, in that 3rd session? Like, can you kind of walk us through what happened? We only have a few minutes here, so
Sure.
to keep it succinct, but like
what
did you do?
Was going to take my daughter. It wasn't for me. So I didn't know this was going to happen for me. She experienced a concussion from sports, and we were trying to help her find something to help her move through that, right? So in the 3rd session, my 1st session was just watching the horse trainer work with the horse. The 3rd, I actually got in the bullpen, which was very intimidating. And the horse trainer told me, without me ever being around, I've been around horses, but I've never worked with horses, is how to make the horse do a certain thing without giving me any directions. Well, I'm a perfectionist. I like to have control. Those are one of the things I'm working on. And I didn't know what I was doing. So I just walked through it. People were watching me. It was very intimidating. So that was my 2nd session. The 3rd session, there was 50 people at this event. The first half, we watched the horse trainer work with the horse. Again, it's all how do you put pressure on the horse and then back off and then let them come to you? And how does that relate to you and your relationships in your life, right? Do you keep putting the pressure on, pushing the pressure on until they are like, forget it, walk away? Or do you put the pressure on, walk away, give them their space to come into your space on their own time? There's so many reflections that you see about yourself when you watch the horse trainer work with a horse who has abandonment issues, anxiety. The second part was people volunteering that knew they wanted to work through emotions or trauma, and the horse trainer would give them directions of what to do with the horse. And as people were going in, it was teenagers all the way up to adults. As 50 people are watching you, that's very intimidating, right? People were commenting what was coming up for them. And so one of the guys that was observing said, I realize I've kept myself captive because of trauma in his life. And the way he said it just totally resonated with me. And I saw me in what he was saying. That's when I lost it. And I was like, that's been me for 30 something years. I've kept myself safe, thinking that it would be better for me to keep myself safe than get too close to people because of fear of loss. and and from there, I've had so many things, unravel from that.
So I got a
So,
question. Is equine
So
therapy,
cool.
is it something that people can find in just about any city? Is it popular and I just haven't heard about it?
I think we have more opportunities here in Scottsdale because of the amount of horsing around that takes place here. For real.
No, actually, I
I
like the
don't
pun, but
know.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's common. I'm sure if you can look for it. But one of the things Broken Mirror Ranch is doing is trying to educate people that there's all different ways of healing and let other people know this is a way to work. So they work a lot with first responders, vets, that
Veterans,
have
yeah.
been through trauma with anxiety and all of that.
I just
But
saw a comment in here that says, yeah, my buddy does this for veterans and it's amazing. So there's got
so
to be
what
something to it.
Yeah, so the one of the guys, what happened to him is he had burnout from working the corporate office. Major anxiety was debilitating him. He went and did a equine session and saw how horse with extreme anxiety was able to walk through his anxiety as this horse trainer built trust with him, was able to work through the anxiety and got over it, was able to have the relationship with the horse trainer that he realized he could work through his anxiety.
Wow.
Amazing.
That's
It's just
cool.
so interesting,
Yeah.
isn't it? I mean, that's the thing.
You cannot doubt that animals have incredible healing
Right.
powers, especially the connection between animals and humans.
Yes. Well, and
100%.
somebody told me that the horse can actually absorb energy from up to 5 feet away. Like they have this whole thing where they can just absorb you.
They can kind of feel what's going on, huh?
Who knows? I'm going to ask a
Yeah.
horse the next time I'm around what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
But I'm excited about this. And Therese, thanks for coming on for a couple of minutes. We're going to we got to wrap because we got this interview in just a couple that we got to jump on. But the link is right there on the screen. We would love for anybody and everybody, especially if you're in the Arizona area, to join Teresa, myself. There's going to be another grief certified specialist on hand, and then Rob, who is the equine therapist. And it's going to be a neat group of people. We've got some really cool experiences planned for everybody. And the goal is when you leave this grief relief event that you just feel like you've let some air out of the tires.
Oh, that's awesome.
Right? We just
Yeah.
want to create some space for you to start moving into something a little bit newer.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I love that.
All
All
right.
right.
Way into
Well,
it.
thank
Teresa,
you for having me on.
yeah, good. Have a
Thank
good
you.
day.
Yes, I will.
All right,
Bye.
sounds
See ya.
good. See you later. Bye-bye. So anyways, I'm excited about that, dude. And thank you for
Yeah.
letting us jump on and talk about it because
For
there's
sure.
loads of people that could use something just like that.
Absolutely.
You know?
No, I got to talk to some of my buddies, some of my vet friends, and see if because a lot of them, they've come back with some issues and they're constantly, searching for different methods of therapy to kind of help them through a lot of their PTSD. So I'm going to ask them if I'm
I
sure,
bet the answer is yes.
I'm sure a handful of them have heard of equine therapy.
Dozens, right? Dozens.
Yeah.
Almost every vet I talk to now is doing equine therapy. And the reason that they like it is the way I explain it to other people is because you don't have to talk about your stuff.
Yeah.
You don't have to sit there and unload
Yeah.
about all your mommy and daddy issues and all of the things that happened to you along the way. Like you just through the horse, you're able to release.
Wow.
How neat is that?
Yeah, that's really cool.
You and I should go up and do a session. I would love to just record a session with the two of us, just see what comes up.
Watch me cry like a baby.
Me too, but who
I
cares?
know,
Like, it would be amazing.
That's the point, right?
Yes.
Exactly.
So fun.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
All right. Well, we got to get wrapped up here. And we're going to talk to Chrissy Powers today. You know Chrissy Powers? What do you know about Chrissy Powers? What are you looking forward to about Chrissy Powers?
She is a relationship professional. And
Yeah.
so it'll be really fun to actually have a conversation with her. I'm going to actually steer a lot of the conversation toward you because you're in a relationship. And so you can be the test dummy here, but I don't mean to use the word dummy, but
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
figuratively.
If the shoe
Yes,
fits.
exactly. Yeah, right. And then I'm going to be a fly on the wall, and I'm just going to like throw out a question and just see how she handles that with you.
Okay.
But no, actually, there's plenty of questions I kind of have to ask about, I guess maybe setting and clearing my own foundation to take a next step.
Yeah.
And
Well, and
when I'm ready for a relationship.
she talks a lot about boundaries.
Mm,
Everyone watching could use help with boundaries.
100%.
So, you got some stuff you need to
Oh,
talk to her about.
Yeah, I got a couple things for sure. Let's see where this conversation goes. I mean, I have a feeling it'll probably go pretty deep.
All right.
Yes.
We'll leave you with a random fact that I found on the internet today. You ready for this?
Yeah, let's go.
A moment. People always say, like, I'll be there in a minute. I'll be there in a moment. Give me a moment.
Yeah.
A moment is actually a medieval unit of time equal to 1.5 minutes.
Well, get out of here.
So when somebody says, give me a moment, they need a minute and a half.
No way.
Isn't that fun?
I really like that fact.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a medieval unit of time equal to 1.5 minutes. So there you go. When somebody says, give me a moment, that's what they're asking.
How many of you knew that? I didn't. That
I
is
didn't either.
mind blowing.
I loved it. That's why I wanted to
I
bring it
can
to the
never
table.
forget that now.
Right.
Yes. And I'm going to use it all the time.
All the time.
I love it.
Okay, guys. Have an amazing afternoon. Don't forget to download the new podcast of the Lexi Pappas that is out right now. What's on tap for you this week, man? I know you're just trying to bring home the beta project.
Yeah, we got a lot going on there, working heavily in the app. And actually a fun little trip for Move 1 Million tomorrow.
Where you going?
Los Angeles.
Right
Yeah,
on.
Yeah, quick little event tomorrow evening, and then I'm back on Wednesday.
What's the event? Are you hip to talk about it?
Yeah, it's with our corporate or our fiscal, not corporate, our fiscal sponsors. So the company that's like the umbrella that we live under, which allows us to be a 501c3, and they're incredible. They're Los Angeles based, and they work with a lot of different charities out there, and they're just good people. So I'm excited to head out there.
You're gonna go out, move them.
I'm actually
or
not.
just as little hang.
I just get to be a part of the event. So so I'm no presenting or anything. I'm just gonna go out and be me. Yeah, which is gonna be fun.
Andrea's busting your chops. She says relationships aren't just with the spouse, Chris.
Fair enough, Andrea.
All
yes,
right.
and I'll have relationship talks with her about my friendships,
There you go.
parenthood.
There you go.
She is a pro on parenthood, so there's plenty to discuss there.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Good stuff. Well, guys, enjoy your week. Download the podcast. We always ask for your 5-star reviews, and it just kind of helps other people feel like, all right, I'm going to launch onto a good product. You said it best last week when you said, I don't even click on a podcast without reading the reviews first.
Yeah, it's where we're conditioned that way now. I go to Amazon, I look at a product, I'm looking at the reviews also, like everything I do.
Amazing.
It's just, yeah. So if you love what we're doing, give us a good review and we really appreciate it.
All right, guys. Just like Tina, laugh your butt off today. Have an amazing rest of your week, and we'll see everybody next week.
See you guys.
All right. Take care, everyone.